You don't know, you're one in a million. Good life. Be with me, baby.
Welcome everyone, my name is Ellie Kralji Gardner, and this is a special event for Thursday's Writing Collective, a program of, as you know, free drop-in creative writing classes held at Carnegie Community Center every Thursday from 2 to 4. Today we're here at the incredible Heartwood Community Cafe. Thank you so much, Heartwood, for having us. And the reason that we're here today is because for the last year we've been thinking about food, and we've been writing about food, and we've been thinking about food security and food policy and food preparation. So as we finish off the year, we're here to eat and write.
Friends who nurture, communicate, share, inspire, stories in the street. From this, creativity emerges, digging down to pain, rising to joy. From this compost, poetry emerges, flowers grow. Digging up the pain, turning it over, becoming more aware, writing it, more compost for healing, roots of who I am, roots of the person, transforming it all to peace of mind and a quiet heart, all able to meet the morning with joy and transform every day into healing and medicine.
The beets and yams and squash and such, they don't go that high very much. In fact, they lie there, that's all they really do. What they do after that, it's up to you. You can steam them, mash them, and cut them with joy. You see, there's this magical toy. It's called a knife that cuts with precision. You can slice them or dice them. It's your decision. The squash and yams that go under the stars, if you look real closely, you can see the scars. The paws of raccoons and squirrels that clouds down deep inside where one can reap the rewards right down to the meat. Or even a watermelon that doesn't grow high. If you can ask yourself why it tastes so sweet inside. Don't expect an answer, see for yourself. Save them for later upon the shelf.
James Mclean, a man of a bygone era, Ed Sullivan, come on down. James, at 88, I cannot think, a man of many words. Do I know how to use them? Question mark. Thanks to the Heartwood Cafe for all the choices of excellent food and no dishwashing in my palace of an SRO. A further use of words. Having plenty of small talk, but no small change. For my next meal, with or without herbs. Please do not rush with folding paper. Thank you.
My name is Errol. I am a recycling freak. And today I don't feel alone. My carburetor is broken, and since then my sink is working better because I don't have any garbage, and so I don't have to. In a clean environment, I raised a question at Green College at UBC after the lecture. I said, how do we change ourselves? And the lecturer said, it's a good question. Thank you.
Okay, this is what I wrote today, inspired. It's just, about food. Food for sustenance. Food for health. Food for enjoyment, for taste, the smell, the texture, the visual. the experience. The mix of various foods as they are mashed and rolled around in the mouth and swallowed. Food for thought. Solving the world's problems as we congregate in the kitchen, nibbling on nibble food. That's it.
Question is how much of our laughter is joy and how much is nervousness. Communication is fun, to share our genuine joy at finding someone to share with. But past memories make me nervous, and I laugh from nervousness. That's what came up for me. I did write a little thing about my creation there. I called it a rare bird. East Van bug eater is to be found in the alley behind St. James. Its call is fuck this and f that, as it shuffles between composting fruit and veg. Its egg eyes can spot a metaphor at the horizon before it can do any harm. The pepper beak will pick up hot rhymes without any professional help, and its watermelon head is full of the poetry of the TWC, sweet to all who are lucky enough to experience.
Okay, here's what I've come up with, and I'm writing this through the eyes of a saint that once lived in the 1400s. In my community garden, I planted a dried wood, while my neighbors tended to seedlings flocking with my stalk. I have a tall order trying to replenish the stalk. I, not knowing the plant, entered the stalk, hoping it would grow and once more perk up as I tend to it with each passing day, carefully watering it, weeding around it as I weed the gardens of my neighbors, also nurturing their seeds. Bringing in compost of weeded pests and of leftover foods, once rotting in a can, turned to soil rich in thoughts, rich in spirit, rich in nutrients, as I watch my stalk still standing around, slowly perking to life. As my neighbors tend to their seedlings, pruning their grown plants, while I pray each day, having faith in my stalk, the miracles of growing, that I may pick the fruit, share it with my neighbors, and make a meal from the leaves, which miraculously grows into green, tall stalk of vine tree.
Food for thought. Bak choy, gai lan, choy sam. When I was a little child, I only speak and knew Chinese, Cantonese, a dialect called Hakka, and a couple of others. Hakka people are the gypsy of the Han Chinese. Legend has it that we were the true Han, whatever that means. We have only left northern China due to the end of the Jin dynasties many years ago. Throughout history, we moved due to the change of government, flood, famine, and just because we fancy another change of scenery. Hakka people do things other people consider unconventional. We don't bind our feet. Our men do our cooking. And women are poets, songstress. We eat, dance, and sing. The joy of fighting for what we stand for and feed each other dream for a better world for our children. PTO. Thank you for our collective mother,
We celebrate the achievement of your offspring. She shows us the way to the forest. Say hi to the nest of the hummingbird. Pay homage to her father, Odette, to our collective garden.
Food and writing bring people together in the most magical way. The universe showed me just how magical today. I got to the cafe late, grabbed too much food to eat, that I of course finished anyway, and took a seat at a random open spot. The speaker started talking and mentioned an amber dawn, and I realized that she was referring to the woman who was 2 spots ahead of me in the food line. I recognized her by her red hair because I had just started reading her book before I left for my cruise. I had removed it from my bag literally seconds before I left my house to get here. The book was called How Poetry Saved My Life, and the title spoke to me as much as the book did because it was real and honest and reflected a truth I lived. Because poetry and writing have been saving my life this last 3/4 of a year. I have been transformed because of it. While Sis, the featured speaker, was talking, she kept mentioning a dawn. I thought she must have been referring to Amber Dawn, but I realized later I was wrong. I realized that because I noticed who was sitting directly in front of me. Shannon Hecker and Don Morrison, 2 people I had met last year, just after I had joined the Thursdays Writing Collective. I'd attended the Wild Salmon Caravan then, and met them both, and thanked them for the event. I had found the singing section especially moving. It was that event that first got me thinking and caring about the earth. I had been inspired to write my first poem sharing my concerns about nature and the state we live in, called Running Out of Time. A talk by a visiting beekeeper to one of our writing groups had also been an inspiration for that poem. So it was another moment of synchronicity when Sis spoke about bees. Ever since I started writing from the heart, writing has brought magic into my life. I have experienced more and more synchronicities for more unexpected and pleasant surprises like this, so that when things like this happen now, I no longer feel surprised, but treat them as gifts and reminders from the universe. In fact, I just remembered that the Heartwood Cafe was where I had read my first story I wrote from a place of raw honesty, shared from a writing class about writing for social change I had taken last August. Like food, writing sustains me, brings me back to life, and keeps me alive. And I will use my writing to help others realize that life can be magical like this. Thank you for helping me discover the writer in me, and helping me peel back more and more layers of myself each week. I hope to do the same for many more people as I keep going and writing, to keep the wheel of good karma rolling. Writing is food for my soul, and I share my food now, because I am no longer selfish. May we all be nourished.
So this is a visual thing, and if you saw it would go one like, sorry, that's okay. Food security is food sovereignty. Food supremacy, food advisory. Food sharing, food growing. Food nutrition, food partition. Food imperialism, food egoism. Waiting, placing, planting, making, fast breaking.
I'm not really that hot about writing about food. That very seldom do I write about food. And the other one I'm not very good at is writing about myself. I like to keep my secrets to myself. And so I thought, what am I going to really write then if I don't want to write something personal? And I don't want to write about food. So today, I was working at the Women's Center, and this I was inspired to do. So 2 of the newer staff came to me, and one said to the other one, I like being around her because she always tells me some stories, and I love stories. So I thought, well, I'll have to think, then I should have to think about a story. And do you know what came to my mind? There was a very sad woman in the woman's center. And I know what she was sad about. She's told me about it before. So this is kind of her story about the kind of person she is. So it's not about food, it's not personal, it's just a story. My favorite music slowly faded. Feeling cool now on the walk so shaded, adding to my mood of hurt and rejection. I'm like a plain pastry on a cake tray selection. Left alone, not exciting enough now for your taste. He is kind of treating her like that, this man. Surely you know it's not correct to waste. Don't think I really and truly feel sad or care. She says she doesn't. So many others want my heart and soul to share. But I'm far too choosy. My heart is seldom won. Without you, my life will be dull, no fun. But tears for you will soon all be dried. I'll be my usual self, because I have self-worth, pride. Pain doesn't, you know, last forever. I'll carry on with my plans and live without you forever.
Eating is the second best thing in the world to do. Third best is sleeping. And first best is sex. When you're young, because when you get old, performance suffers. It's like an old magician who can't pull the rabbit out of the hat anymore. There you have it. Life in a nutshell. I'm thinking making art out of food is a waste. Eventually the food rots. It's moldy, has to be thrown out, and the art disappears. What good is that? Some people make an art out of eating. They make their forks dance. They wave their knife like they're in a duel. And their soup spoon is so soothing with soup. Some folks are so dainty with their teacup, making their little finger wave. But you can give me a steak any old day of the week with caramelized onions and crispy baked potato, and just so topped with sour cream, chives, and some bacon bits. But please, hold the bologna sandwiches. They ain't my thing. Ever since I had a case of the bologna blues.
Perfect event to share knowledge, to share food, and to share creativity. I just want to thank all of you. Let's give a round of applause to Heartwood Cafe.